Yeah, I just sent it. What's
Okay.
going on, everyone? Welcome back to Reality Radio Podcast, Whitney and Stefan. This is our Werewolf Skeletons finale discussion. I know we're a little late. We're 2 weeks late, but it's better now than never. Let's put it out there. You guys know by now. You can follow us on Twitter at Reality Radio Pod, and our blog is talkingrealitytv.blogspot.com. Sorry we couldn't get Andrew and Morgan with us this week, but I know we're having them back on in future shows. So I guess we can get right into it, right? Can you
Yeah,
hear
let's
me?
get into it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It left off with a to be continued. Jason and Nicole, man, they were arguing, about the bottle. Jason felt like Nicole was treating him differently towards, Bruno and Tony, you know.
Right.
So I
Then
don't
things got
know.
real.
Whitney, yeah, you're a female, so as a female, what do you think about that whole thing? You think Jason was in the wrong? You think Nicole was in the wrong? They're both in the wrong.
Yeah, I think that it was escalated. It went where it didn't need to be um because of Nicole. Like Nicole definitely escalated
Yeah,
that whole the part where it got physical. Obviously they were heated. That's where we left off. They were talking, but
yeah,
we left off where Jason, he was at first they were both downstairs in the kitchen. Then Jason walked away, and that's where it should have ended because Jason walked away, and then he went venting to Sylvia. And
hmm
let him vent, let him say what he needs to say. But I feel like I'm not sure if she was intoxicated or what was the situation with that. But Nicole felt that it was
She was
needed
talking there. Yeah, so
to
she ran
follow him
upstairs. Yeah, to confront her.
upstairs.
Yeah, and
So
even
I
though
feel like that's where things got. That's where eventually she initiated it. She really did. And as much as
yeah,
people want to put the blame on Jason, and she
she's
wants
the
to put the
guy.
blame on him and say, "Oh, you're a man. You're not supposed to be putting hands on a woman and things like that." I agree. However, she put herself in that situation
Yeah, she
where
bust
it
up.
didn't need to.
Yeah,
Right, where it didn't need to
she bust
go.
that guy in his face, and what do you think he was gonna do? You kind of, I guess, force
Like
it
you're
on her,
poking
even
the
though,
lion. You're
yeah,
you're poking the lion. The lion walked away, and
yeah,
then you decided to run up to it and poke it some more. Then when it attacked you, you want to cry,
pride,
and go say,
exactly.
"Hey, Susan,"
Even though
right?
he was 100% wrong, for what he did,
Absolutely.
putting his hands on him, his hand on her and all, but she still put herself in that situation, like you said. And what do you expect when you do
Right.
something like that? They were both wrong, equally wrong.
They were both wrong, but I'm not gonna because like the castmates, the roommates, really heavily laid it on Jason and was only talk at least from what we've seen was only talking about how he was wrong, how they were all scared for Nicole or thought that
Mhm.
she was this victim, and it's like she's not exactly because she put herself in that position where Jason's really good at calming himself down. We've seen
Yeah,
it. He's good at walking away. He walked away from Tony when because the second to last episode, he walked away from Tony when Tony was they were bucking up at each other, and he was like, "You know what? I'm going to walk away before I get heated." Then he went at Nicole, and they started arguing. Then he walked away from Nicole. So he's really good at calming himself down. He's really good at calming others down. So why not just um let him talk? Let him run his mouth. Why do you have to go and provoke him some more? And then you want to cry when things get out of control, out of your control. And that's what really rubbed me the wrong way. That no one else really saw that from what we saw at least it wasn't put in the show that no one else really saw Jason's side of things or saw that Nicole was actually the one who was also wrong and who also
yeah,
she had a hand in that whole situation going out of control. So,
she did. Yeah,
and I'm upset that we didn't get to see it though. I'm really upset that we didn't get to. This is supposed to be like a what do they call it, reality documentary type of
memory.
show.
Yeah,
Like we're supposed to see stuff like this
docu
is
stuff.
real. This is what's real. We don't want to see fabricated. fights. We don't want to see
Yeah.
like you show us Madison getting choked out by Sylvia. Why is that less of a crime or less violent
I don't
than
know. I think
Jason?
because of the guy. I don't think MTV probably wanted to show it. You know, they were just a little.
But that's what I think that the show needs to embrace, though. Embrace this
Yeah,
real
that's
moment.
what I think too. But
Embrace the realness of it. You know, you have a season where I feel like this season is
maybe it
one.
was just a little too real for them. Just a
I
little
think
too real.
that 15 years ago, MTV would have probably shown
Oh,
that.
hey, they showed the Stephen and Irene slap when Irene was leaving the
Showed that.
show.
They
They
showed
showed
that.
that, but I don't know. They didn't show Jason and Nicole.
They didn't show Jason Nicole, and
They
I'm upset about that. It's like
Yeah, me
embrace.
too. Me too.
I'm pretty sure Jason Nicole would probably relieved. I noticed that neither one of them were tweeting during that
I
episode.
know. Oh, Jason a little bit. Well, no, he tweeted afterwards, but
Yeah, it was
I
after the
didn't.
episode they were tweeting.
I didn't realize that they were like kind of on bad terms up until this point. I didn't know that. I thought they were cool. I didn't even know like that whole thing went down. It was like that.
I didn't know that.
It's
I
weird.
didn't know that. It took me by surprise.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they don't really get along. Like, and
In the house, but
that's
it probably.
weird.
You know what? Honestly, if I was Jason, I would be okay with not speaking to Nicole, because
but
he handled the
I don't know.
situation was just kind of
Yeah, he handled himself afterwards really really well. I wish Nicole
right
would have
afterwards. He
handled
handled
it
something
better.
well.
You know, she said she couldn't forgive him. You know, it's just weird to me. You know, it takes a lot for you to not forgive someone or hold grudges. You know, I feel like that's worse than you know
Right, but you know,
that's
this was like Jason's. It's like
episode.
an
Right?
episode. Yeah, this is emotional
'Cause
ride,
his
and he
father came in, man.
father came in soon
That was
after
a
that whole
huge
situation.
moment. Huge moment.
Well, actually, no. Actually, we're skipping over the therapy. We're skipping over the therapy section, which really took me by. I don't know if they did it because it's like towards the end of the season or if it was this moment, but I did not. I thought if they were doing therapy, I thought they probably should have did that throughout the show, or at least after,
All right.
maybe throughout the show or after
I
something like after a big moment happened.
Yeah, I think they just did it because of what happened with Jason and Nicole. And I think the producers really wanted Nicole to participate, but they can't force her. You know, that's
But
what I
isn't
think.
that weird though? It's like I feel like Bruno's moments were far like crazier and more
Yeah,
consistently crazy.
and you know what? Bruno could have
He
used it too.
needed,
You
he
know,
needed some
the
therapy.
the person who needed the most didn't even
And
get.
Violetta.
Yeah,
Those three need some serious
Yeah.
talking to about their emotions and the way they express themselves.
Mhm. I thought it was
Maybe
nice that they called a therapist up. You know, she came to the house. I thought that was a nice thing to see. I just wish everyone would have participated in it because everyone could have got something out of it.
right.
Right.
Well,
And then you saw Nicole watching from above. You know, she might as well just went downstairs and sat on the couch. But that's how Nicole is.
yeah, that's like the thing is, I feel like you're only gonna get out of it if you put something in. So if they weren't gonna participate, then they probably shouldn't even be there. I don't think they should have been forced
You
to be
kind of
there.
saw Nicole wanting to participate, but she was kind of confused if she should or not because Bruno, he left the whole area. Nicole stayed. She was trying to listen, from the balcony, but then she left when Jason started talking about it. So I guess she just couldn't handle it. You know, it
I
just
don't
seemed
know.
like she wanted to forgive Jason, but she was holding on and trying to be strong. That she didn't want to give in and actually forgive him. I felt like I saw that from her. Like she wanted to forgive him, but
Right.
just wasn't going to.
Yeah, I think
Hard
that
headed.
I think
Very
that
hard. Because she wants to be right. But
right.
yeah.
I thought it was a big moment for Jason to really just open up and just be a man. He's the only guy on this show. He seems to be the only person outside of him and Madison, the only people who seem to accept, when they've done something wrong. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
I wronged you. I'm sorry. This is what I'm apologizing for, and
I agree with that.
try my best
Jason
to
Madison.
make it not happen again. they seem to be the only ones who have like this sense of self-awareness about them. Like they understand when they did wrong. They don't need to be told time and time again. They get it immediately. Like, okay, I messed up,
Yeah.
and how do I fix this? And they're like not so prideful as to hold that in or anything like that. So I that's one of the reasons why Jason actually he got into my top two now.
Oh yeah,
He
Jason's
surpassed
one.
Tony since
I'm saying Jason's my favorite guy, favorite person right now. He's my favorite person from this season. He was. He is right now.
he well Madison is my favorite, then Jason, because she's kind of been my favorite all season. But I had a soft spot for
No,
her. I
see,
kind
after this episode is Jason and Madison for me.
of
I do like Madison out of all the girls.
Jason
She's
really
good.
really came up for me these past
Yeah.
couple episodes. But
Yeah, let's get into his father coming in.
yeah, he had a big moment.
That's a huge moment.
That was a big moment. They saved his skeleton for last, which I guess it was good, especially since it was perfect timing. Though since his
It was. And
birth
his
of his
yeah,
baby.
his versus baby. I wonder how they worked that out. That's so weird. That's so weird that they were able to do that. 2 weeks later, his father comes in after the birth of baby
I
Taylor.
think that was just MTV lucky
Luck, yeah, luck, straight up
timing,
luck.
lucky
Yeah,
timing that they
that's
they
crazy.
didn't know.
But
You know,
yeah,
they didn't know when that baby could have been born. That baby could have been born
I
premature.
know.
That baby could have
Yeah.
been born late. They had no idea. So
hmm
it just worked out that
And did his father live in Chicago?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was weird because he was there for another day, or like they met up twice. I'm not sure if he was just
Well, he
staying there.
probably stayed at a hotel or something.
Hotel.
They probably put him up in a hotel.
I was wondering, like, does he live in Chicago
Like
now?
they probably asked if he
That
could
would have
stay.
been really weird had he been living. That'd
They
been super
probably asked if he could like stay like a weekend or something like that.
maybe, yeah.
As the other skeletons got a whole week, he probably
hmm
was like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna just stay," because it's like a grown man. He's not gonna be living there. He's
Yeah.
not gonna live in that house. Yeah,
And so he
when
comes in, right? But it was already tension between. There's still tension between Jason and Nicole.
well, the thing that really got me was that he didn't even know who his father was. He was at the door, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Who is that?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know who that is." And it was like so. It wasn't like he maybe could know, or it looks
He did.
person looks familiar. He was just like, I have no idea who this man is. And then it wasn't until his father walked up and said, "Hey, my name is Lafayette, whatever, whatever." And that's when you saw Jason immediately, just
Yeah.
like
He
break
broke
down.
down.
He lost
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
It was a interesting moment. It was.
it was,
Yeah.
it was, oh
It
my
was,
gosh. It was
good to see because it's very real.
very real, very
Yeah.
authentic moment.
Authentic. Yeah.
Which is what this season really give you a feel for. Like all these skeletons, although the it's contrived in the way that these people are, being placed in this situation by MTV. The moments that it brought out, I feel like, are very authentic. And the cast makes the moments that it brought out, and the issues that came from it were very authentic, and it was interesting to see. Like we get to know these people in ways that we didn't know the past roommates.
hmm
So it was a good moment. I like that they gave the skeletons their own interviews too. Like you're talking
Yeah.
to skeletons get to express themselves and
Oh
these
yeah, because they probably want to interview to see if they want to actually have him on the show. But yeah, I thought it was interesting too.
Mhm. Yeah. So so Jason just breaks down, and you can see
hmm
everyone's kind of like peeking. Everyone's left the room. I like that.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. Not to be a letter or Sylvia. We're like, hey, you guys, let me show you this thing on the computer, this new thing, and
hmm
she was like, let's give these people some space, But
Exactly.
they were all like peeking and leaking and listening in anyway.
Yeah, it was a nice moment.
It
It's
was a
nice
really
to
sweet moment.
see that happen. Jason was very upfront. He asked his father, where has he been in the
Right.
past, what, 20, 25 years, 26 years of his life?
Yeah.
His father was upfront. It was a good
It,
moment to see.
It was really and it's just yeah, it was just like a real like it just I
Probably
didn't know
one
how
of
to
my
take the
favorite
father.
Skeletons. It
I
is.
didn't know how
It
to
is
take the
my
father.
favorite skeleton.
He was I didn't know like he's not someone he's I don't know if he seemed like he I don't want to say cared, but I'm sure it moved him. But I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know how to take him. I just really didn't know how to take. I don't even know
I
how
didn't
to
really not think
respond
him
to
either,
it.
but now that because I saw it twice, I think he was just very strong, you know,
I
because he
think
was
yeah.
giving Jason tough love anyway, too, you know. He was
Mhm.
telling him, you know, it's okay to cry, you know, telling him, you know,
Yeah, I
I
think
like
that
that.
he's just really like hardened in
Yeah, he's
a
very
way,
strong, tough love, all of that, you know. It's
and
not, I don't think he was like rude about it, you know. So
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's
yeah,
yeah. I just didn't know
he
how to.
cared. He cared. You just it's a different type of care, you know. Very
He
old
probably got
school.
his. He probably, but see, he knew what was happening, so he probably got his emotions later. Jason didn't know he was coming, but he knew he was going to meet his son for the first time.
Probably did.
So that's he probably got his emotions out, you know, and thought about this and really let it marinate
Mm-hmm.
when
Maybe.
MTV invited him to, and so he probably dealt with all that. But
Mm-hmm.
whereas Jason, this is being sprung up on him in front of
Mm-hmm.
us, you know, in front of his roommates, and it's just this
Yeah.
thing. And,
And he got to share with his father that he just had a baby, you
right.
know. And he
And,
said something to his father, you know, he be better than you or do better than you, something like that. He said a quote like that. I thought that was very good.
right. He was very upfront, and he was like, you
Upfront.
know what? I
Upfront.
just want to be better, a better father than you were.
Yeah.
And his father took
I like
that
that
for what
moment.
it was. He knew
Yeah.
that he messed up, and you know, he was like, you know what? Yeah, be better. You know, that's good. Be better than me.
Yeah.
And
Stand up
so he
moment.
met up with his father later on,
Hmm.
later, probably like a
But no,
day
wait,
later. Or
before that, but I did like the conversation he had with his mother. You know, when he called his mom and told him that
something.
Lafayette was in the building. She was shocked too. Even she was shocked, you know? So
Yeah,
that was a real moment for him, you know? But yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
made a second date to meet up and I guess the next day.
And it was
And
a
that's
much
where he invited him to their family reunion and showed him pictures of
mhm.
his stepsister.
And it was a much more you can tell it's just much more relaxed. You know, now he can really enjoy and try and get to know his father. Whereas
Yeah.
before it was like he has all this emotions going on and he didn't know how to take it and he was just, you know, losing it. But now that he kind of collected himself, and now it's like, okay, I want to learn more about you. I want to learn about this side of my family that I never knew. And I want to tell you more about me and about what's going on in my life. So I thought that was a really sweet
Loved it.
moment.
Yeah. I really like it. My
Yeah.
favorite
So
skeleton this season, like hands down.
this, oh my gosh, I tweeted it. I was like, this is like the episode where you're supposed to like fall in love with Jason. And it's
Yeah.
so unfortunate that this season, which is the best season in years, in my opinion, did not get a reunion. But
Especially the way everything left.
Explosion got a reunion. Like Explosion didn't need a reunion because they did like 50 after shows. So I'm thinking like, why did
Like 10 after Bruno, Jason left. This season required a reunion just to see how everyone was, you know, or is
right?
right now. It's crazy.
But you're right. Some other moments that you don't want to gloss
I thought
over.
that was ridiculous.
It's horrible, but
But
MTV's going to be regretting that. That was a horrible decision. But Bruno and Carla are still together, and Bruno's like, I'm in love with Carla, which is really sweet.
I know it's probably
And
like
I
Ashley.
like Carla. I liked her after the last episode. She grew on me. So um, I like that they were still out. They're not together now. But
Can
I
you hear
like
me?
the news. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear her. Yeah. Okay. Because you were like skipping. You were talking about Carla, right?
Yeah, Carla and Bruno.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. You're talking about You were talking about Carla.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
okay. So So yeah, Carla and Bruno. So they went out. Bruno decided to not hang out with the roommates that one last time, which was whatever. It's Bruno. I don't mind that he doesn't do that. I think that I actually like Bruno. What do you think, Stefan? Can you hear me?
Asking about. Oh my god.
Hey,
Wait.
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up though. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's you.
Probably me, 'cause I
My,
got this thing popping up.
but I heard you. Did you ask about what I think about Bruno not hanging out with his roommates the last
Yeah.
night? I thought that was effed up, but I understood. I understood why. Because I probably would have been the same way as Bruno throughout the season. If I find that one chick, I'll probably hang out with her. Because I'm not really a party animal either. But the last night, you don't go out with your roommates the last night. I would at least go out with my roommates the last night and
He could
bring
have
Carla
brought
with me.
Carla.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they could have did something afterwards.
Yeah, I thought that was effed up. You can tell he didn't really want to be there, and I felt like he was taking his spot in the house for granted. He's in his own little world, so he didn't see like it was important for him to hang out with his roommates the last night. He didn't see it was important, so it's all good.
See, my
But the way
thoughts
he
on
left was even more effed up. Like it's just weird.
my thoughts on Bruno is that I actually felt like, see, I look at it
Did you?
differently. I feel like I looked at him just being he was just being himself. He was just being he wasn't getting he wasn't as swept up in the whole real world experience like we usually see. You usually see like
I like that.
and I just like that he kind of kept it to himself. He wanted to spend time with Carla. He didn't care much about the roommates, and that's fine. I don't think he should care. I don't think that's like something that has to happen. Like he should have a big night with the roommates and pretend to care. If he doesn't care, he doesn't care. So I don't feel like people should like say like, oh hey, why don't you spend time with his roommates? Because he didn't want to. If he doesn't like his roommates or felt like he preferred
Mhm.
to spend that time with Carla when that's because she lives in
Yeah.
Chicago. So if he's leaving, then why not spend that last night, that last moment with her? I
Yeah,
see
because
that.
ultimately it is his decision, but I don't know.
If that's who I think we're just used to, the whole last night in the real world house. You want to hang out with your roommates, but if he didn't like his roommates, then he didn't like his
There's no point.
roommates.
Yeah. And
Then
that's
it's
what made
like
it
whatever. Don't
interesting
fake
too.
it. Just don't fake it. I mean, you look like a jerk, but who cares? If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Because his whole real world experience was, and actually after talking to him, it made me understand where he was coming from a lot more. And understand his choices. And throughout the season, he didn't have like he felt like his real world experience is whatever you make it. It doesn't have to be a standard thing. You don't have to go out every night and get drunk to have a real
Yeah.
world
I agree
experience. You
with
don't
that.
have to,
Yeah.
bring home different girls to have a real world experience. Your real world experience is just being in the house and then living your life.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
agree.
living his life the way he wants to live it. And I feel like that's his real world experience. Tony had a different one, just like Jason had a different one. So I
Yeah.
don't
Tony's
think
was a
that
typical one, but
right. So I like him in that sense that he's not faking it, and
yeah, I
it
like
looks
that's what I was saying too earlier. I
right.
do like that from Bruno because it's Bruno and it's different, and we don't really see that a lot. So
You don't. You see people like trying,
like Tony, trying to hook up with as many girls as possible. Come on, you don't do that in real life. But that's it.
nah, Elizabeth had him locked down in real life. Before he left, Elizabeth had him, on command. like,
Probably. Yeah.
um, so
What happened?
before we wrap up, oh, it was just like the episode, the leaving, and we
Yeah.
got the Jason and Nicole sort of reuniting, which was really weird. It was like
Oh, at
drunk
the bar.
reuniting.
Yeah, at the bar
Yeah,
they
it was
did.
like really drunk in a way. Like they
Yeah,
were both intoxicated. And was like, hey, I love you, and
that was nice
sorry.
to see. It was nice to see, but it would have been nice to see them do that when they were leaving too. The
when
next
they were sober.
over, but I don't know who
So
left first. I think Bruno, or was it V?
I think it was Bruno. I
Yeah,
think Bruno
Bruno.
left first.
And
Bert
Carla
left
picked him
first.
up. Carla
Paul picked
picked
him
him
up.
up to drop him, which was nice. But he just dipped. You know, he only said bye to Nicole, right?
Yeah,
And he
that
dipped.
was like you could have turned and said, "Hey guys,
Yeah, that's what
you didn't
kind
have,
of made me mad too.
you
It's
didn't
like,
have to give a
oh,
hug to everybody. You didn't have to give
you
everyone
have
a
beef,
hug and a kiss and whatnot and be emotional. But you could have just turned around and be like, "All right, guys, peace out. I'm gone."
deuces.
Like
Yeah, like see you at the reunion.
he's
Why
like
not?
not not even.
Yeah,
He's that would have been great to see that though. See him at
yeah.
the
It would have been nice him say that and then like,
and
at the
then see the
reunion.
reunion. It's
Yeah,
like,
but yeah, and then Nicole left after that, right? And
I think
I felt like she was just following in Bruno's footsteps. Well, no, she said goodbye to everyone, but she didn't say bye to Jason, which was weird.
this is being super dramatic. I think
Yeah, that was dramatic. And then she was crying in the car, saying she wished things would have went differently. Well, you
well
could have
then it could
changed
have
it.
you made
Yeah,
all
but
those
you had
moves.
all the grudges. You know, you was couldn't
Yeah,
forgive.
things could have been differently if you'd have just swallow your
Follow
pride
your pride, yeah. But
and acted differently. Jason
yeah,
was doing fine. He was open to
yeah, he was fine.
talking
He was
like an
chilling.
adult. He was
Yeah,
open to having a normal conversation like two grown people, but you're the
yeah.
one who wasn't. So you
It is what it
created
is.
you created the outcome. I feel like
Yep.
she had all the balls in her hand. Nicole gave it to her. Like, look, what do you want to do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This. This is a one time thing. I made a mistake, and you were, you weren't able to accept that.
Hmm. And then
So
V
that was,
left. V
and
left
then yeah,
very classy.
and I like
Said
that
goodbye to everyone.
Violetta, Sylvia, and Madison all like
Tight, right?
they kind of like grew closer and just bonded a
Yeah,
lot
I
more
like
than what
that.
we really saw
Yep.
because Violetta was kind of on the down low after her skeleton. I feel like
Oh yeah,
we didn't get to see a lot of
she a
moments
lot
of
of
her,
them.
but it's nice to see at the end that she felt like
She
she felt
learned
closer
a
to
lot,
Matt.
and she was talking big of Madison too. You know,
Right.
she was giving Madison her props, which was nice.
That was really that
Yeah,
was
and then
really that was really, oh,
Tony and Madison left together,
Tony
and
Madison.
then they went their separate ways at the airport. Yeah, I noticed that. And
Yeah,
then the last two was Jason and Sylvia.
Jason, which is a weird last two. I figured like either Tony and
But
Madison would be
you
last two
tweeted,
or Bruno would be the
but you
last one.
no, I'm happy with Jason and Sylvia because you tweeted it out. You know, usually whoever's the last two to leave are like their favorites. I kind of feel like Jason Nicole is probably their favorite.
Jason,
Yeah.
I think Jason
Jason
was.
and Sylvia, sorry, was probably their favorites. Or Jason and Madison. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why this was weird. I figured it would be like, but whatever. It was nice that Jason had his fond moments with Sylvia because we all know that he was trying so hard.
Trying. Yeah.
So he got it. So the MTV producers were like, "All right, look, we're giving you this last moment. Everyone else at the house, out the house. So here you go,
Hmm.
Jason." So
Yeah. Jason took the train back.
yeah, and it was nice. I like that it wasn't super emotional like usually.
It wasn't. It was just very real.
Everyone just was like, "Peace, I'm gone."
I'm done
Um,
with it.
so yeah, that was a good finale. Probably my favorite one since Austin. Austin had a really good finale too. So
Mm.
I enjoyed it, and so what? I mean, what else do you think is next for the show? Like, where else do you think that they can go from here? They had two great seasons,
It did.
one good one really good one, and then they completely like um went even better, did even better on the next one. So what do you think? Like, where else can they go for
Um,
this show?
who knows? Maybe they can do World with your siblings, or with some family members, or they can just go back to the original. Seven in the house. Keep it the way it was in the past, or they can do maybe a skeletons too. Who knows? They have options. You know,
They have a
they have
lot of
options.
options, but at the same time, they can easily, you know,
Just do it.
go downhill. Like
Yeah.
people just not accept it. So
Yeah.
it's they had two really good seasons back to back. One with like bringing in the Exes to actually stay, And then bringing in skeletons week after week and expose the cast members. So I feel like now maybe go back to the original format, but
maybe
add in a new twist. Like I brought this up before, but I really think that they should do like competitions on Real World now.
I think so too. They should do that. Yeah,
That adds a different element. It brings in a different types of viewers. People like challenge fans who think that the Real World is dead and don't want to watch the Real World, anymore. Who only watch the challenge. So maybe to bring them back into the fold and say, look, now you get to see what these people would be like on a challenge. And it's, at the same time, you get like similar type of show. It's like they're competing, they're living in a house, but it's just 7 or 8 of them.
I agree.
No one gets voted out, which I think is better because the competition would bring a different type of drama. And if no one gets voted out, then it just stays and like festers in
the pot keeps stirring
in the house. Yeah.
That's a nice thing. Or they could bring back alumni, or maybe 7 new people with 7 alumni.
I think they should do that, but do that on the side, like just do like a regular Real World season, like maybe in the fall or winter or somewhere around there. But and then in between that time, do like an all-star cast for like the stay in the house for like a month or something like that, something small like that, as like kind of like giving you a little bit like. Give me a little snack, a little tease until the Real World comes back on.
Or if let's say they have like 7 alumni, right? And then each alumni pick like one person, like a brother or a sister or a best friend. Have those 7 people who don't know each other live in a house, and then bring out the actual alumni like a month later. That'd be a little different.
But I don't know how they would promote that though. Like it has to be something simple that the audience, like simple audience, casual
alumni
would
I don't know. It's weird.
Catch on.
Yeah. I like the theme, but they'll have to have a title for it.
There has to be like a catchiness to it, Yeah. Like something simple that like, oh, this is what's going on. Yeah. So I think that they have a lot of options. So it'll be different. You just got to see what they how creative they want to get or how risky they want to get, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's our discussion for the Real World. We were 2 weeks late, but it's all good. We're gonna miss this cast, my favorite cast in a long time, and so just tune in, keep following us at Reality Radio Pod, our blog, talkingrealitytv.blogspot.com. And check us out, live tweet with us during the challenge, Valley Exis. We also talk about Survivor, American Idol. So just live tweet with us and give us suggestions on what else you think we should be talking about. What other show out there that we're missing that we should be talking about, or suggestions about this show. Like so yeah, if you want to come on, you can also tweet at us, and we'll be happy to bring on any other fans of these shows to talk with us and give your input. And I think that's about it. Stephanie, am I missing anything?
Nope, I think you have everything.
Yep. All right. So take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. It's great talking with you, Stephan. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.